Hello everybody and welcome back to today's video. This is part 3 of the how to set up your Nitrado Ark Survival Evolved server. Again, we're just going to go over things on how to do your settings. We've already done parts 1 and 2, which I will link in the cards above as well as below in the description for you guys. If you're liking these videos and you want to see more, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you have any questions or if you found this video helpful at all. I will be doing more videos in the future about Ark and Nitrado settings, as far as expert settings, how to change certain settings and alter things. And with that, we're just going to jump right back into the video. We're going to just kind of take off where we left off in part 2, and this is going to be our multiplier settings. So the first one here is going to be our damage, our dino damage multiplier. The higher this is, the more damage that your wild dinos are going to do. So wild dinos will do more. However, this will not affect your tame dinos. So this is just going to make your wild dinos much stronger, hit more, harder, do more damage. Player damage multiplier, it modifies the amount of player inflicted damage. So this is going to be high, and if you increase like your melee damage as well, it's going to make players do a ton of damage. Structure damage multiplier, same thing. This is going to be the amount of damage that structures take. Actually, I think this is the amount that like turrets and things do against players from the looks of it. Yeah. Okay. Auto destroy of old structures sets the extra counter on structures, after which they will be automatically destroyed. So this is basically going to set a timer for how quickly they destroy structures after the decay happens. Again, I'll go over structure decay and auto destroy and stuff like that in a future video. Player resistance multiplier, this is going to be how much damage reduction you get. Reducing this value is going to increase it. So like if you have a 0, your player will does not take damage at all. If you make this like 5 times, that means everything's going to do 5 times damage to you basically. Dino resistance multiplier, it's the same thing for the resistance of dinos, but this is going to be your wild dinos, I believe. So again, if this is 0, they're going to take less damage. If it's higher, they're going to take more damage. Structure resistance multiplier, this is defines a multiplier for damage done to structures. So if you make this 0, it's going to make, even in PvE and PvP, it's going to make it where like a Giga can't even destroy a stone structure basically. So again, if that's 0, they won't take damage. If it's higher, they're going to take more damage. XP multiplier, this is going to be how much experience you get in game. This is going to be the default of 1. The higher this is, the more experience you get. Taming speed multiplier, again, the higher you make this, the faster your dinos are going to tame. Harvesting multiplier, same thing. Higher this is, the more you're going to harvest. Good way to test this is, say if you change this to 8.0, you go into your map, you pick up a stone off the beach, it's going to pick up 8 stone instead of 1 stone basically. Resource health multiplier, this is going to increase or decrease the amount of HP a tree, rock, whatever has. If you decrease this, it's going to essentially make them die in 1 hit, I believe. And if you increase it, it's going to make them last longer. Defines a multiplier of water drain per player. So if you decrease this, your water drains slower. If you increase it, it's going to increase and you're going to get thirsty faster. Starvation, same thing. Decrease this, you're not going to get hungry as fast. Increase it, you're going to get hungry faster. Dino hunger, same thing. Increase it to make them starve faster. Decrease it to make them starve less. Stamina multiplier defines the multiplier of stamina draining. Again, lower number, you're going to drain stamina slower. Higher number, you're going to drain it faster. Stamina for dinos, same thing. Regeneration defines a multiplier for the natural health recovering of the player. So the higher this number is, the higher your health recovery is going to be. So you're just going to recover health faster. Player harvesting damage multiplier, this is going to be the amount of damage that you do to things when you harvest them. So again, this is going to go hand in hand kind of with your resource health multiplier on how quickly you destroy resource nodes. Dino regeneration, this is going to be how quickly your dinos recover health. In my experience, I would be careful doing this one because with tame dinos, it also seems to affect your bosses and things, and this can actually result in your bosses becoming unbeatable basically, so be careful with that one. Dino count multiplier defines the multiplier of the amount of dinosaurs. Warning, this setting may decrease the performance of your game server. Basically, this is going to increase the amount of dinos on your map. So the higher this number is, the more wild dinos you run into. The lower the number this is, less wild dinos. Decay multiplier, this is going to determine how quickly things on your server decay, like wood, thatch, metal, etc. Again, we'll be going over in more detail on the decay timers in the future. Resource respawn, I believe defines a respawn rate of resource nodes. Values lower than 1 increase the rate at which resource respawns. So if you were to increase this to like 0.5, resources would respawn 2 times faster. If you make this 5 times, they will respawn 5 times lower. I don't know why it's set up that way, but it is. Regrow on structures multiplier controls the radius around the structures within which resources cannot spawn. So if you build a structure somewhere, this determines how far away from it that a rock will respawn, a tree will respawn, things like that. Regrow multiplier controls the radius around the player within which resources cannot spawn. Values smaller than 1 will decrease this distance. So again, going to determine how close to you that resources are going to respawn, basically. Dino decay multiplier, this is going to determine how quickly your dinos decay, which means that they're going to become claimable or they're going to auto destroy based off of your settings. Platform saddle modifier changes the amount of objects that can be placed on platform saddle. You can increase this. I think it affects rafts as well. So this is going to increase the amount of structures that you can place on rafts, saddles, etc. Lay egg interval multiplier. High number increases the time between egg spawning. So if you reduce this to like 0.5, wild dinos are going to lay, or even tame dinos, are going to lay eggs twice as often. If you make this 5 times though, they're going to be 5 times slower. Dino turret damage multiplier. This is the amount of damage that dinos are going to take from turrets. 1 being normal. If you do this 3.0, they're going to take 3 times damage. Dino harvest damage multiplier. Higher number increases the damage done by a harvestable item. This is going to be the amount of damage that dinos do to resource nodes, basically. Custom recipe effectiveness. This is going to change the effectiveness of custom recipes if you make them. So if you increase this, it's going to give you like more HP, more stamina, etc. from custom recipes that you make. Same thing, skill multiplier. This is going to determine how much your crafting skill level modifies those custom recipes. Your mating multiplier. This is going to change the time between 2 pregnancies. The lower the value here, the less time you have to wait between mating. The higher the value, the more time you have to wait. Egg hatch speed multiplier. This is your incubation speed. The higher the number, the faster that your eggs are going to incubate or hatch. This will also affect gestation for dinos that are pregnant. Kill XP. These are going to be kill XP, harvest XP, craft, generic XP. These are all going to be XP multipliers for how much XP you get for each one of these actions. Supply crate loot quality multiplier. The higher you cause this, the better the loot quality is. So instead of getting like ramshackle blueprints, you might get ascendant. However, it also increases the amount of resources required for this. So if you were to make this like 5,000, you'd end up getting blueprints that just require like an insane amount of resources. So be careful with that. Fishing loot quality, pretty much the same thing. It acts the same way that supply crate loot quality does. Crop growth speed multiplier, how quickly your crops are going to grow. The higher number increases the speed of crop growth. Fuel consumption, the higher number here, the slower your fuel is going to be consumed. So this is going to affect things like gasoline and like tech generators, things like that. Crop decay speed multiplier, this is going to be how quickly your crops decay inside of crop plots. Hair growth speed multiplier, again, higher number, going to increase the speed at which your hair grows. Oxygen speed stat multiplier. House speed, use this to set how swim speed is multiplied by level speed in oxygen. Its value was reduced by 80%. Yep, okay. So the higher that this number is, the more quickly you move in the water based off of your oxygen speed upgrades. Corpse usage multiplier, and modifies corpse and drops box lifespan. I believe the higher number this is, the longer your corpse will last for you. Battery consumption, again, just going to modify the rate at which batteries are used. Tamed creature starvation, this is going to change how quickly your tamed dinos starve. A lower number is going to make it slower, a higher number makes them starve faster. Wild creature starvation, same thing. This is going to help if you want dinos to eat faster when they're knocked out and you're trying to tame them. Wild creature torpor damage multiplier, this is going to increase or decrease the amount of torpor that you do to dinos. Passive tame interval, this is going to require how frequently things like your lystros want to be hand fed when you're taming them. Tamed creature torpor, this is going to be how much torpor your tamed creatures take. So like PvP, for example, somebody shoots your dino with a trank, this is going to do more torpor damage based off of the number that you choose. The lower amount, the less damage they take. The higher number, the more damage they take from torpor. Stack size multiplier, you can choose this to increase stack sizes numerically. I'll be going over a video on how to change stack sizes in the future. Hexagon reward multiplier, again, going to go over how many hexagons you get based off of completing Gen 2 missions, Gen 1 missions, I believe. Baby multiplier, mature speed multiplier, the higher number this is, the faster your babies mature. Cuddle interval, this is going to go over how frequently they want to cuddle with you or be imprinted, basically. This whole section will go over a little bit more in detail in the future. Unreal Engine 4, Using the following settings to change the behavior of the game engine. Keep in mind that these settings are intended for expert users. All changes on these settings are written to the game ini configuration file after restarting the server. These settings only are effective in engine settings are active. So you can enable these. This is going to let you change all of these settings here. I wouldn't really advise messing with these unless you're in expert mode. Once all that's said and done, you're going to want to make sure that your server is been stopped, and then you're going to want to just save the changes and restart your server. Once you do that, you're just going to want to go into Arc and choose or go into the search bar, type in whatever server name you entered here, and your server is going to pop up for you. Sometimes it takes like 5 to 10 minutes after it says it's online for it to populate, especially when you're using it for the first time. If you've got a password, you're going to want to make sure in the bottom left hand corner you choose that server protected password or password protected server so that it shows password protected servers. And again, in the search bar, just type in whatever you typed here and then it'll pop it up for you. And that pretty much concludes the 3-part series we just did today on how to just basic set up your servers with a Nitrado server. Again, in the future, we're going to go over a lot more of this stuff in depth and in more detail. I'm going to show you guys a lot of cool things you can do, including like modifying your supply drops so that you can increase like what quality of items you want in there, choose which items you want to drop. I'll show you guys how to change boss dino drops. I'll show you guys how to do individual stats per level up if you guys want to increase like your health per level, your carry weight per level, etc. I mean, I have an entire list of things that I can go over and show you guys. I'll be making a website basically for you guys to have all this information so you can just copy and paste it as well. Most of this stuff I'll be showing you guys in expert mode just because it's easier to function that way, and I personally prefer expert mode. But today I just wanted to show you guys kind of the basic settings that you can do in basic mode for those of you that aren't comfortable advancing into expert mode. And so yeah, we'll be doing that in future videos. So again, if this video was helpful to you, you found any value in it at all, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Just give me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Any feedback on the video. I'm getting new. I'm starting out on YouTube, still trying to figure these things out. If I talk too fast, I apologize. It's mostly just due to nerves. And I try to write scripts, but I just can't seem to stick to them. I still fumble over my words a lot, things like that. And I feel like these things are just going to change with time as I get better, and I get more experience. But for now, all this stuff, like you guys commenting, let me know what I'm doing wrong, how you think I can improve, and even positive feedback about things I'm doing right. I appreciate all of that so much. If you guys want to be a part of my Ark Survival Evolved servers, just go ahead and go into Ark, just search for The Void. Otherwise, you can use my Discord link down below in the description to join our Discord. You can drop in, say hello, check out our servers. If you have any questions, we can answer them in there for you. I've got a wonderful staff team, amazing community who's willing to help out as well. And yeah, that's pretty much going to conclude the how to set up your own servers. And I love you guys. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much for all the support. Thanks for that like. Thanks for that subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.